Alright everybody, so welcome to another Friday Night Magic stream from Lost Legion Games and Comics. Already into an action, you can tell already just by the angle of the camera that this is a different format than we usually draft. When we're not playing Standard Night, we're drafting. As a result of the Journey Into Nyx release today, it's a Theros block draft. We're watching Dave Snow do his picks, and you'll have to bear with us. I'm joined by Garrett Meadows tonight. We're going to do our best to wade through these limited cards that we're not as familiar with as we could be. So we've reached into our uncommon set. There's the green strive pump card, the twin gods. That's the double damage one, right? So that one doesn't look good. The rare is the red strive spell. So he pulls out this blue thing. Do you know that guy? He's trying to figure out what that that strive rare is, but I can't imagine.
I think the strive rare is
Warwing.
The strive card was the threaten, the mind control.
Ah, yes. So he picks Warwing Siren, which is a 1/3 flying heroic. Gets a +1/+1 counter for 3.
It's very good in the blue-white deck.
Yeah, I mean,
Blue-white aggressive deck.
yes. And in this format now, obviously drafting Journey first, you're going to have to pick a lot of. You can get rewarded later in the, because remember Theros has a ton of awesome whites and blue heroic cards. Alright, so we've got the Fortifier. I like Leeches a lot actually, but I mean it's pretty. You have to commit pretty hard to it. That's. And then Thassa's Ire. Is that like a flood?
I'm here for the other sets.
Well, that's not Thassa's Ire.
Well, you spelled Thassa wrong.
Well. Yep, it's a 1-mana enchantment, tap or untap target creature. And that's what he picks. It's also foil, so it taps 2 creatures. Like, it's basically a flood, if you remember flood from the old core sets, but basically tap or untap a creature. It's great on defense, and with Inspired, actually pretty good on offense as well, so. So the Storm Chaser Chimera.
Yeah.
Dave giving it a read there. Thassa's Devourer.
That's the scry, and look at the reveal a card, and it gets +X for the converted mana cost.
So it's basically like every other Chimera, in which it could be really big if if everything hits.
It's
perfectly.
still a 4-mana 2/3 flyer without any pump action.
So what about this Thassa's Devourer? It's got Constellation. Target player puts the top 2 cards. This is the mill card. Oh, he takes another copy of Warwing Siren. I didn't even see that one. So going pretty deep into the blue-based Flyers deck here.
Well, it's also good to cut blue hard in the first pack and pick it up in the Theros pack. And this Theros is where you get your Cryptide, your Voyages, and stuff like that.
Yeah, blue seemed, if I remember from the Theros pre-release, the blue pool seemed the deepest. And I just remember the white cards, especially the pump 2 target creatures. Seems like the best heroic enabler. Well, he can go really deep and get another Warwing Siren. I mean, he might as well. I don't really think.
It's not the worst. Like it doesn't go good with ordeals, but like all of your pump spells aren't ordeals. You know, you get these 4 and 5 mana bestow cards that are very, very good with this card.
What was that one? Something Thief? I did not see what that one was.
I don't know. I'm just staring at the Hooter shirt.
Alec Myers. He's trying to go deep tonight because obviously he's wearing his Lucky Hooter shirt.
They've shown us the island. That's in the back. That's still in the back.
Starfall.
Yeah, there is going to be a time where you're going to want to
Font of Vigor.
actually spread into another color.
God Hunter Octopus.
Another Fortifier.
And then what's this big old thing here? Looks like a flyer. Rise of Eagles. The Nautilus. I did see God Hunter Octopus, which is a 5/5 for 6, but has an Enchantment Home if you want to go deep.
So
and he does take the Nautilus.
We're on the 6th pick here. We haven't seen any of the premier blue card in this set is the uncommon that turns
everything into 4/4s.
4/4s. Yeah.
So the Crystalline Nautilus bestows for 5. It's a 4/4. When it becomes the target of spell or ability, sacrifice it. So basically, it's an what's the word I'm looking for? Phantasmal image type illusion. It's an illusion. Seems pretty good. 3 mana, 4/4.
There's the Draka Mystic.
What's that thing do?
1 mana and tap it. You and your opponent reveal the top cards of your library, and if you want to, you draw them. If you don't want to, you mill them. That's a definite Dave Snow card.
Yeah, because he will just outplay someone with it.
Yes.
Seems very tough to. It seems like it could be a blowout against you as well, but. So he's choosing.
If it's something that is good for them, you just have them mill it.
Oh, you get to choose?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
He did not. He did not take it.
He took an actual creature, probably.
Alright. So there's the rare still in that one. Skybind. It's an interesting one. So the rare that's still in this pack is Constellation, exile target non-enchantment permanent, return that card. It's a blink.
Glimmerpoint Stag effect.
Yeah, non-enchantment permanent, it blinks. So there's no blue card here, so he's going to have to branch out. So he shuffled Skybind to the top here. He's paused on a lot of green cards in previous packs too, so he might go that route, but we will see. Nope, he's going red. Who knows where he's going?
Not having picked up any red cards is dangerous to, like, I mean, you're obviously just going to take the best card in this pack here, since you haven't taken another color, but if other people are in red, it's going to be very hard to get the premier red cards out of War of the Gods.
I think he's going back and forth here with this black card. Font of War?
Yeah, it's 4 mana and second and deals 5 damage to a creature or player.
Excuse me. So there's another God Hunter Octopus, which seems god-awful to me. Font of Ire, not Font of War. Yep, so 2 mana enchantment that sack for 4 to Lava Axe something.
Yep.
Seems fine. It's interesting, these fonts are kind of like the old seals back in Nemesis, which is, it's going to do something you already know, but you're just going to pay your mana now, and it's going to sit there as an enchantment.
Except the blue one is a lot better.
Yes.
The blue one is definitely the best one out of the font cycle.
You could take the Dictate of the Twin Gods here if you really wanted to go deep. Not to apologize for using magic slang there, but
well, it has a chance to be a blowout
if you build your deck around it, or if they don't block and you can lethal them, because it does have flash.
And also, I mean, it messes up Combat Mat too.
It's also a good Dave Snow card because he will play. He will outplay someone with it.
It's also a card that, you know,
all the dictates seem like brutal and limited because
once it's on the field, it's a lot less good.
Yeah, the white one, the Double Glorious Anthem, it's got to be super strong in this limited environment.
Well, that and the black one is very, very good. The black one was a 5 mana. Whenever my creature dies, you sack. Whatever that card used to be.
So Consign to Dust is a strive. It's a strive destroyed. It's a strive naturalize, which seems pretty strong in this format. It's interesting that it weighs that long. It does cost 3 and 6 to double something up, but he's going to take the Chimera now since he is blue-red anyway, and it flies and it's fine by itself.
Yeah, without any activations, it's a 4 mana 2/3.
Yeah, that flies. Graphics Insight is actually a pretty cool card, just not in this format. I don't think you've got to.
That's just random Minotaur.
Flurry of Horns. Put 2/3 red Minotaur creatures, tokens with haste onto the battlefield. It's a 5-mana sorcery. Seems fine. Some random black card, and now into the
So we're definitely in blue. We have 2 to 3 red labels, so it's not necessarily in red.
yeah, he can swap out here if he wants to, but I don't know. There's this. I mean, the Chimera is good if he the font isn't that bad, but he can. This is a very good angle for seeing the cards picked, but also tough because Dave Sort's right in front of it. Yeah, Archmage 51 talking about the blue dictate, the Howling Mine effect is actually not very. It's more of an EDH card, but like you said, the black, the red, and the white one are pretty strong.
Right, so we're going to call out the relevant cards here.
Eye gouge.
Yeah, there's one. The Evanescent Intellect is this card Dave can pick up here. The Protection from Your Creatures spell. There's a decent one. Melatonis Astronomer.
What's the Astronomer do? Wait, is that the Herald of Torment? That card's really good.
Herald of Torment is very good.
And then Plea of Confidence.
Yeah,
so you take you take the Herald here, right?
Well, you can also take Evanescent Intellect.
That's the blue card.
Over, yeah.
He doesn't like it.
Herald of Torment is a very good card, though.
And since he's basically blue, he can easily pick the best card in this too. No one was taking blue cards in the pack, which is interesting, because we know it gets so much better in the first two sets.
Like the Intellect Goodwill and the Protection from Your Creature spell is definitely Goodwill.
And of course, the Evanescent Intellect is a 1-mana enchantment that you can put on a creature, pay 2 and tap it, and mill 3, which obviously is super strong. Milling much more viable in this format than in Constructed. Also triggers Heroic. A lot of the blue cards have Heroic mill cards anyway.
Yeah, the card that's definitely not coming back out of that deck is Melatonis Astronomer. It's very it's an Augur Bolus.
So there's the Scourge.
There's Sirens. That's Course of Sirens. Course of the Tides. It's definitely a strong pick here. 4-mana 3/2.
Heroic Scry 1 flies. 3/2 flyer for 4 that scries. It's pretty strong. That's it. Yeah. Is there any chance Dave was going to pass that card?
No, I picked that card. I'm a dumb player.
Dave likes things that are blue and that fly. If he can find a spare like Inspiration in this pack, would be nice too. I know it would make an illegal pack, but well, if you like that one, have this one. This is like the exact same pack as the other one.
Fall the Hammer is a very good
card. I don't know if you can pass it, especially with all the. Oh, that's the. What is that guy?
Cracking on Straits.
Is that any good?
I don't know what that last card is. No, Cracking on Straits is just a big dummy.
You gotta take the Fall the Hammer, right?
If he's gonna move into black, he's got that one other card lined up there. He did take.
Cracking on the Straits is 6/6 that can't be blocked with creatures' power less than the number of islands you control.
I don't know what that black card was. But he ended up taking.
My bad.
Weight of the Underworld. Another blue card. Another blue card. Oh, that was the Frost Breath blue card that he just passed over.
If his deck ends up being as tempo as it's starting out, that could be very strong. There's another Intellect.
Is Ian streaming at the table?
No, not at this table.
He'd take out those Evanescent Intellects.
He loves to mill. So you take Intellect here, it triggers Heroic, gives you an alternate win con.
I don't know, he's got a lot of flyers. He's probably going to win with damage. He's going to take this.
Do you know that card? He's.
The Sudden Storm is probably what he's going to pick since he has all of these flyers.
And it's exactly Frost Blast, except it costs 1 more as an instant, and you get Scry. Well, Frost Breath is instant too. Honestly, I'd forgotten that you'd mentioned there was a Frost Breath in this pack.
Nyxborn, Triton, something.
Ragemonger. Is it too late to switch?
Could go to Browntown. Way to the Underworld, or the blue bestow card that he passed over. First is probably going to be the pick.
Wait is effectively a removal spell.
That one.
-3, -2, which is...
It's a blue bestow card. It's 3 mana.
Nyxborn Triton. And of course a 3 mana 2/3 bestow for 5.
Very good with all those 4 mana flyers.
Yes. And as I saw Ben Stark talk about on a Walking the Plains video, bestow is a great mechanic. It works a lot like retrace and level up, because it makes that card good if you get stuck on 3 mana, because you can cast it as a 2/3, yeah. And if you flood out and draw it late, you can make bestow it and have an awesome threat. So
we're getting down to the 17th, 18th cards in your deck. Going to probably take the Stratus Walk. It's a 2 mana cycler. Enchanted creature gets flying. There's also a black card, yeah. That's the 1/3 regenerate, and whenever it untaps, drains for 1. That's a very good card in a flyer deck. Like, all that card is going to do is clog up the ground while your flyers get in and beat down, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the pick here.
He shuffled that to the front here.
And the last card in the pack is a janky white-black card.
Servant of
Timuret. Servant of Timuret. 2 mana 1/3. There's
another chorus.
Yeah, that's it.
He's only taken 1 so far, right?
That's an easy pick here. There's a Marsh Mist Titan.
Another bestow guy.
Marsh Mist Titan not good in your mostly blue deck.
Another chorus is fine.
And there's the enchant give my guy Intimidate, or that was the Minotaur.
Is the Fellhide.
But I think you just take another chorus here.
Yup. Our camera's slowly drifting to the left.
There's another Marsh Mist Titan. There's the Pumpy Tree.
Are we firmly in blue-black at this point? Or are we still blue whatever comes?
Yeah, he's definitely in blue-black. Probably going to take the Crypts this year. It's a with a Y. He could take the... Yeah, he's going to take the Tree. The Tree is also a solid card.
Did he take the Tree?
Yeah. It's just a defender that can pump.
Take Eye Gouge here.
Eye Gouge is not a bad card, but there's also a Crypsis in the pack. And I really like Crypsis. I like a one-of Crypsis in a good heroic deck like this. Or a good... That's not necessarily a heroic deck, it's more of a Flyers deck, but still he has the...
Crypsis is effectively a Brave the Elements type card. It won't deal with spells, but it basically makes it indestructible in combat.
He did pass over all those Weight of the Underworld, so taking a combat trick / pseudo removal spell is not bad.
Which did he take the Eye Gouge?
Yeah.
That's fine.
There's Pillar of War. That's not a bad card. He might end up taking it since he has a few bestow cards. He took a black card. I didn't see what it was. Cracking in the Straits came back.
That's a strong signal that nobody wants that garbage card in their deck.
When they open the pack, I'll go there and tell them to either recenter or...
I can shift the camera, yeah. I feel like the Evanescent Intellect is that like Thought Scour, not Thought Scour, Mind Sculpt of this set,
yeah.
Of this block, which is like if you get like 3 or 4 of them, along with some of the blue heroic cards that trigger mill, then like you can trick yourself into drafting that deck. And if you match that deck, it's unbeatable. But like it's very hard to come together.
Like it's very good in the blue-black control deck because in this pack you usually get anywhere from 2 to 3 Servant of Timuret. That's very good with that card. Oh, he's trained it up himself.
Freaking Dace now.
But without with only getting one servant, like it's not an ideal card to pick up. I don't think there was any point in this draft where he wanted to pick that card.
Also, just apologies to obviously don't know if the YouTube videos are going to be like this offline, but it looks like the stream is a little choppy, which is, we had a problem last week, and we're having it again this week despite pretty good connectivity, so if that is the case, my apologies. I did bring a brownie to eat for dinner, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then while we're deck building, I'm going to walk out to my car and get all those leftovers from the golf tournament I told you about. Were you there when I said it?
No.
So many pastries in my car because I have to get breakfast for like 100 people, and then you have to get enough, and then people don't eat them. I saved all the ones I wanted. They're at the house, and I brought the rest.
George is here, so fill your mouth.
He does like it. His favorite flavor. This is mean. His favorite flavor of pastry is free.
Alright, we're in our
Burn. Alright.
Born pack.
Cavalry Pegasus is a deck he's not building.
Could take a 1-mana 1/2.
Cavern Lamped.
There's a Chimera.
Read the Bones. He's going to take. Dave Snow is going to take that. Oh, Last Breath is good. He can't cast it. Tormented Hero is a deck he's not really in. Fleece Mainline's pretty good too.
Yeah, you just pass over that Fleece Mainline.
Well, I mean, you can't take it, but I mean, if this was pack 1, like, you'd find a good excuse to try
It's
it.
either Read the Bones or this
Yeah,
Chimera.
he's never. Once we saw that Read the Bones, there was never a debate. He was always taking that Read the Bones. This is your box, by the way. From when you gave me the stuff to take to Nick.
Cool.
That's a little off-hand. So he's going to take Lash of the Whip here, right? Unless something.
He's picked up no removal yet.
That Scorpion is really good too. It's one of those cards that seems pretty innocuous, and then you play against it, and you're like, dang it, that Scorpion is going to beat me. The Shimmering Grotto wannabe. Aqueous Form.
Asphodel Wonder.
Aqueous Form, good. A Triton Tactics. That's very good.
Triton Tactics, Boon of Erebos.
I feel like the Triton Tactics might come back.
Yeah, I think
The Whip is never, Lash is never coming back.
You take Lash here, and then
It's just a
Boon of
better card.
Erebos, and either the Boon or the Triton Tactics will go. You will get one of those cards back. Fleshman Steed.
Unicorn.
Unicorn. He could take it, but it's not really going to be tapping for mana a lot in his deck.
Two Cerebus would be good in the blue-red deck he started building.
Flame Castle, there's an Annex of Sign Lead.
Somebody's going to get gifted with that. Yeah, he'll take the Omen Speaker.
Omen Speaker's okay.
And Destructive Revelry. There's nothing but... It's amazing how...
Omen Speaker is actually really good in this deck.
It's amazing how also, too, how more verbose our commentary is with the pack that we know what the cards are.
Yes.
Even I know what the Theros cards do.
So Omen Speaker is going to help him find action early.
It just clogged the ground, like you said earlier. That Eidolon would be really good to have, but again, he's not going to be able to play that.
Fate Foretold.
Another Lash. At some point, like, you don't want a million Lashes, because the format is a little bit faster than original Theros was, but
There's going to be a very good red-white deck in this table.
if someone's on it,
We've seen just the highlights that we've seen is Annex, God's Willing, and Fall of the Hammer.
So another Lash of the Whip, so he's on two of those. He took the Eye Gouge, and I think that's his only removal so far.
Oh, there's a very good card, Disciple of Phoenix. Fleshman Steed. Another Marcher of the Return, which is never going to go in his deck. Could take the island.
Yoke Talk's in the house. Disciple of Phoenix, 4 mana, 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals a number of cards from his hand equal to your devotion to black. You choose one of them, that player discards it. So at a minimum, they reveal 2 cards.
Yep, unless they kill him.
Yes, you can do that in response to the trigger.
So Fleshman Steed an option here, but probably not going to take another Disciple. March to the Return, probably not going to make the cut. March to the Return. Proving me wrong.
He's likely not to play it, but still feels like that's the best card for him to take in the
It's
pack.
also hard for him to cast a double black spell and turn more reliably.
There's a
Ooh,
Vaporkin.
Vaporkin.
That's I believe that's what the kids call the Windmill Slam.
Yep.
couple of those Cerebuses. The Cerebus is pretty good, I think. Especially with all the Dragon Breath type effects in that archetype. Vaporkin doing its best Rishiden airship impersonation.
I don't know what that card does.
Shout out to 1999!
There's a Fate Foretold. There's the Boon. There's a Stymied Hopes. And a Gainsay. So either Boon or Stymied Hopes here. He could take the Fate Foretold. It's not.
He might.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a Fate Foretold. I think that's the.
It's something to something. Do you remember? Do you know what it is?
I think it's a -3, -0 effect.
There's a lot of dregs in this pack. Like he's
one
not.
And 1/2.
He just throws that. I hate that card, whatever that black-white card is in the set, because
3/3.
when I look at it from when I first look at it, it looks like Bit Blast to me, and I'm always like, awesome, Bit Blast, I take that. But it is not Bituminous Blast. It is in fact an awful creature.
Horizon Chimera, Unknown Shores. There's a Asphodel Wanderer. Probably just gonna pick that up.
Could go Mountain.
I mean, he's not really got a lot of great creatures. He's gonna have to.
He hasn't dropped. I already feel ashamed for making this joke. He hasn't drafted a lot of land, so he's gonna need to pick some up here in the last.
Another March of the Return.
What does March of the Return do?
You get 2 creatures back to the graveyard.
Just a double raise dead?
Yeah.
I guess you could play it if you're short on playables. Messenger Speed is really good in the heroic, the mono red heroic deck. In original on triple Theros, that deck doesn't really exist now.
So Dave needed like a couple Triton Hunters or Shore Thieves, a couple cards like that. Like he's missing Wave Crash Triton. Wave Crash Triton and Triton Fortune Hunter are the 2 cards that he really.
And then we'll get him to step in here briefly and describe what we already know his strategy was, which was take blue flyers, then open Herald of Torment, then take black removal, and then end up with a pretty good deck.
Yeah, I mean, he has certain curves that are very good. Like I was saying in here, he bricked so hard at Theros.
It feels like somebody was taking the other blue cards, but then again, he got that Vaporkin really late, so
yeah.
like I don't know.
Well, the Fortune Hunters,
it also really worked out for him too that he got like. He opened the Herald when he was blue-red. He opened the Herald. He kind of went into black slightly during the Journey pack. But then in the 3rd pack, he got both of those Lash of the Whips, which seems like if there's any other black drafters at the table, they would snap those up.
Well, you take other cards in front of that. Like, you take the Disciple, you take...
but that second one, like, came back, didn't it? Or it was like the 8th pick in that... It was like the 7th or 8th pick in that one.
Like, Sip of Hemlock is generally better than... Lash of the Whip.
We can also, the interesting thing here, while we watch Alec Myers building.
But yeah, he got no Grip Tides. He got no
Voyages in.
Even a Sea God's Revenge would have been good.
Yeah, it looks like Alec drafted the same deck as him, sitting right next to him.
Sitting across from him. Was Alec passing to him?
Yes, these guys are at the end.
So yeah, Alec had the Airbrushes Emissary, the Thassa's Emissary. Those are 2 cards Dave would have loved to have had. He has the Sea God's Revenge. Yeah, Alec literally cutting off in the Theros pack.
Which, for as much blue as Dave took in pack 1, like, Alec had to have been in black or some other color there. And then, like, he must have gone heavily into it in packs 2 and 3. Because it's not like Dave passed him a playable blue card in the Journey pack.
Yeah, Dave took all the Chorus of the Tides. Dave passed the Meletus Astronomer. I see that Alex Bell.
But he took something pretty good over there. Alec has a couple of copies of Sigiled Starfish as well.
I like me some Scryfish. And we're calling that card Scryfish. If you call it Patrick, I'll never come back to this store.
Okay.
The With my the same stance I take on that as I do on calling Gray Merchant Gary.
I like calling it Gary. Because it's a very long card name. It has seven. It has seven.
Have a block that has Patrick and Gary in it.
It has seven. Well, that's funny. Is there a SpongeBob or a Squidward? Is the question.
I'm sure there's a Squidward somewhere.
So how many playables does Dave got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got 20 cards over here in the main. He's got those 4 cards over there on the left that I think might be his maybes.
He doesn't have a lot of playable creatures. Like, he has to play all the creatures that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He might even have to play that March of Return since...
Because he just needs a threat. He just needs a threat density, and that counts as 2.
Well, I mean, it's a solid. Like I said, his deck has a solid plan A. Cards like Servant of Timuret are good with Eye Gouge. You can block something, and then hopefully kill it with Eye Gouge. If your servant dies, March of the Return is very good.
Eye Gouge is also allows you to live the dream of them just having Cyclops.
There are a lot of Cyclops.
There are a lot of Cyclops, but like you have to play it thinking that what's the word I'm looking for? Is Crippling Blight do -1/-1? I'm trying to think what spell does -1/-1. Shrivel? Tragic Slip, yeah. A Tragic Slip has to be good in your deck in order for that card to make an appearance. You can't play it on the off chance that there's a lot of Cyclops, so maybe they'll have it.
Maybe they'll have a Mutavault.
Yes. That would be fun if, like, a Cyclops deck became, like, Tier 1 playable and constructed, and then Eye Gouge was, like... It's like a one-mana Vindicate, isn't it? It is also good against Mutavault, but there's also a lot better ways to kill a Mutavault. Like, for example, Doomblade, or Last Breath, or literally anything else.
Kills all the changelings.
So if you ever do a wacky draft at your store and get the Shadowmoor Born of the Gods pack, you're in like Flynn.
You know, I purposely started taking bronze sables because I noticed how I not only playing 10, including 2
I'm hearing Ian Struggy out there talking about his bronze sable tech.
He got them all.
He collected them all. In draft number 1, this of course the feature match is draft number 2 tonight, but draft number 1, Ian Struggy apparently treated bronze sables like Pokemon. He did collect them all.
He did get a Bottle Gnomes in the cube draft he did earlier.
Oh yeah?
Brandon Gibbs cube.
Was he thrilled?
Yes.
Also, why is Bottle Gnomes and Brandon Gibbs cube?
I don't know. It's the same battle level as champ.
Well, they go in the same deck, Garrett. You gain 3 life, and then you can use that for 3 more mana.
Channel, Skull Clan, Bottle Gnomes.
That's simple. We just talked about a pretty synergistic deck, Garrett. You cast Bottle Gnomes, you put Skull Clamp on it, sack it, gain life, draw 2 cards, then you channel is 3 mana deeper. That way, if you're at 12, you can cast Emrakul. No, you can't even do that. You have to be at 13 to do that. So Dave, struggling here. Alec threw his deck together very quickly. It may be entirely possible that Alec just had the perfect number of playables, or didn't have enough playables, or maybe doing a classic Alec, do everything really fast and just kind of hope it works out.
Yeah. Now he's going to go play Standard for 15 minutes.
It does work out for him a lot. He does play well, but he does everything at a breakneck speed.
He needs to do things at a breakdance speed.
Mm-hmm. I know I overemphasize this, but I do like it when Dave drafts, because as one of the more accomplished, more seasoned players at the store, when he makes a pick, I'm like, oh, that's probably the right pick.
Yeah.
But we've had some people draft in the past that you know full well it was the wrong pick, and by the wrong pick, I mean entire packs of cards.
Like,
I think one of the first times we ever streamed, Max Turner opened the Carnival Hellsteed in his pack, not a promo, like the pack, and passed on it for something. And I was just like, I don't think that's right. And then it turned out it wasn't right.
It was very good by the time I got to it.
So we're going to the land station here.
The only pick that I was caught off guard by was the Marchers Air Turned Over like that. It was like a boon of airbows and something else.
Well, let's tell Dave to come in here and talk about his deck when he's done. I'm going to run out to the car and get that stuff. I'm going to get my cube too, so I can get this card.
Sounds good. I'll be here.